great question came in. What does it take to be a pattern tester? So we'll talk about that next.
Hi, I'm Mikey from the Crochet Crowd, and thank you so much for joining our channel today. I'm here to inspire you and create magic with your crochet hook. Are you ready to play?
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Oh, you're such a naughty sheep. We're talking pattern testing today. What does it take to be a pattern tester? And right off the hop, I'm not looking for any pattern testers for the Crochet Crowd. We actually have a full team. And the thing about it is that I don't want to, there's so many people that I have to worry about confidentiality when it comes to the pattern testing. And so I want to make sure that we have people in the team that really understand confidential things. What yarns are coming in the future, what stitches. So some of the projects that we work on are up to a year in advance. So I really don't want a pattern tester to be spilling the beans as per se. So I guess the rule number one for looking to be a pattern tester is that you need to know when to shh. And so the host or the designer should be the one to leak details or share details and not the pattern tester. The pattern tester is in the background, and so if you're looking for attention, pattern testing is probably not the way to go if that's your ultimate goal. Second, for pattern testing, you need to know how to read a pattern in order to be able to follow. Each designer has their own way to communicate, and when I do my designs, we use a shared document format. So I write down the design. I also write down hand scribbled notes and provide it with the files. And what we do is that we edit it in real time. So none of the testers can change my design. My system will not allow it, but my system will allow them to make corrections, and I can see what their corrections are and their thought process. And together, what happens with my particular team is that sometimes we can all agree to disagree. And so we have to find the common denominator of where the problem is. So the way that I think about things, the way that the tester may think about things are two different monsters. And that's exactly what you would want in a tester. You don't want a tester that's always going to agree with whatever you say. They need to be able to push back without fear of upsetting you as the designer or the host. So you have to make sure that the pattern tester is open to chat with you, but also open to share their point of view, but also for that tester to be accepting that the final word becomes the host or the designer that is in charge, because ultimately their name is on the design itself. How's the water? So when it comes to pattern testing, so you have confidentiality, you have trust, right? And you also have open dialogue and communication. So those are really the factors. When we look for somebody, and we're not looking right now, as I mentioned, but when we're looking for somebody, we're actually looking for online to people's behavior on the way that they interact with each other. So sometimes you can have a really excellent person that maybe really be able to pull a pattern and really test it well, but maybe their attitude and the way they treat others is probably not ideal, or maybe not what you would hope for. So I'm not saying to judge somebody by their character, but I'm kind of saying judge somebody by their character. You have to be able to make sure that you feel confident on who's going to test your pattern, because you ultimately have to build that trust with the tester in order to complete the whole process. And at the end, what we started doing as of 2021 is that I finally started, I don't know why it took me so long to figure this out, but I finally started putting the testers' names on the patterns itself to give them acknowledgement, because they're working in behind the scenes to do that for you. Now, compensation and all that, let's get into the ugly details. So let's talk the ugly truth about monetization for paying people to be a pattern tester. I'll be quite honest with you, that's what you expect from me. I do not pay for our team to test. However, there is a big however there. If I feel compelled to throw them something, and I'm not just saying yarn because they got yarn to play with, but throw them something that's meaningful, it actually makes a huge difference for the team wanting to stick together and work together. You have to understand that you may be the leader of trying to find testers for yourself, but you are also part of the group. Okay, so don't get on that soapbox so high that everybody is underneath you, because you want to work together as a team. The way that I visualize the Crochet Crowd, as much as I'm like the owner of the Crochet Crowd, the fact is that all of our team members are with me side by side. And also you at home that are following this, whether it's the written words or our blog or the social platforms or even this video, you are part of that team. We all are. It takes a village to keep a community in balance, and we all take a responsibility for that. And so when I think about all of the ideas of just being able to put this thing together, Oprah inspired me to do what I'm doing. Like, if it wasn't for her hitting me that one afternoon back in 2008, I would not be standing here today. If she hit me at the moment of just saying, you know what, you need to stop the excuses and you need to do something, and here's a possible way of doing it. Just finding a way to reach out. You never know on the platforms, and I'm getting a little off track, but you never know on the platforms if you have a community member, and it could be your own team member that is just hanging on for dear life. And sometimes just an acknowledgement is that I see you. And I'm not just saying I see you, but I see you. You are part of something great. And it doesn't have to be crochet, and it doesn't have to be an online community, but it could be within your organizations at home or even within your family. So I think it's important that if you are trying to develop a team, that you make sure that you stay grounded with your team and make sure that you are working together as a team. I have heard stories, but I do not have any firsthand experience with this, where a tester literally will be ripping off the designer by changing the design a little bit and then calling it their own. You have to make sure that when you have a tester that's working with you, is that you do have that trust. And honestly, once I see that or hear about that happening, it's like, yeah, like, what do you say to that, right? So everything is broken, the team is broken. So it's so important that you choose your people carefully. And if you're never sure, just go on their Facebook page, see how they talk to people, how they interact. And when somebody shows you who they are, you need to believe them and go with your gut instinct. That's how I would choose a pattern tester, and that's just something that I would consider. Have a good one. Serious chat. Didn't mean to, though. Have a good day.